wanted to talk today about why I include animals. It quickly expanded into people because I'm a people person. Like I'm not a vet, okay? And my expertise is, I'm more like a naturopath. I'm not a naturopath because they didn't have that credential when I wasn't aware of that credential when I was getting my training. But, you know, I've been doing holistic medicine and, you know, 4 years of graduate school in neurophysiology, registered dietitian, nutritionist, acupuncturist, sound healer. All these things are people related, not animal related. But I felt deeply, deeply, deeply called to write my book. I couldn't, like, all my excuses didn't matter. I just felt compelled, and I still use that book for all my people clients, because everything that animals have, people have. They just have another layer of it. But animals have some things that people don't have, which is integrity. In some ways, they're not free to not have their essential nature. And as such, their honesty of being themselves is very, very, very powerful. So let me see, I took some notes here, things I wanted to say. So I remember when I was deciding whether I would include people in this group or not, I was walking in the woods, as I tend to do, and I had a vision. I felt the presence of about 100 or 500, like a lot of dogs and cats, and maybe 10 or 15 horses, and then a bunch of other little ones like rabbits and other things. So just like this whole menagerie of animals. And they talked to me as if, in my mind, as if they had one voice. And they said, you know, they just said that we can help. We can help you with your humans. And I said, but I kind of want to help you, because not that I'm tired of working with people, but I'm interested. I'm like an artist. I'm like, okay, I feel like because I want to get 100 cancer cures, and I figured animals heal much faster than people, and they're simpler to work with, and there's not as many politics involved. Veterinarians are often very supportive of just doing things naturally. So I was hesitant to let go of the pets only forum. But frankly, I'm a people doctor, or I'm not a physician, but I'm, you know, people health professional. There we go. That's the word. So we include people. But I wanted to talk a little bit about why animals are in this group. So we have good old Muffin Top and Bo. Ross might be here today, I don't know. And some of these names, they might be names of pets, and I don't realize it, you know, so, because I don't know if when you put your name in, you say you're a person or a pet with cancer, so I don't know. So we might have more animals than I thought. So the soul life of animals is different than the soul life of people. So I'd like to, when you talk about soul and spirit, if you get too literal, you can nitpick it and miss the point, because anything you talk about with soul or spirit is necessarily symbolic or artistic, because the soul and the spirit speak through these forms. They're not the form. And the way I look at animals, or the way I experience them, is I see them as less individual than people. Now, you know, my dog is a character. Look at her. She doesn't really sure why she's being held right now, but she's patient. She certainly has her individuality. But in other ways, she's bound to being a dog. Like, as much as she likes to act like a cat sometimes, she's a dog, clearly. And she's not really free to not be a dog. And dogs, I think all dogs have more loyalty to their loved ones than any human could ever have. As loyal as I've seen people get, I think most of us aspire to be as loyal to our loved ones as dogs are to their people. And the same thing with cats. Cats aren't necessarily loyal, but they have this interdimensional quality and this sense of themselves that is nice to be around. Okay, so they kind of give us their gifts. Now, when any of us live with anybody else, we tend to rub off on each other. And this applies to pets too. So if they are with their loving humans, they can pick up stuff. And they don't have the same relationship to death as we do. They're just not as scared about death. They certainly feel pain and they certainly like to live and all that, but it's just, they have a different interface into this world. Like if you could smell what my dog is smelling right now, you would like wonder what world you're in, whereas it's just her world. And I think all dogs are, all animals are just, their nature is their psychic. Their astral is their highest developed part, which is the psychic realm. So they really can sense our feelings. They can read the pictures in our mind. They can see us if we're doing our rapid image cycling. They can actually see the pictures in our minds. They have these superpowers that they willingly give to us. So I was going to talk about what I think animals' contribution to this group is, but then I realized, well, maybe we can do a little training, a little hands-on training. So in a few minutes we're going to do a guided visualization where we will go to a pond. Well, we'll go to a sacred, she wants to get down. Here, you get down. Okay, you can stay there. Yeah, you want to stay there. We'll go into our sacred sanctuary, which is what sanctuary means, safe and sacred. And we will put the people that want healing, their names into the pond. We'll leave the animals out for just a minute, and then we'll feel how that is, and then we'll put the animals in. And I want you all to experience the contribution that the animals make to the healing. So I'm going to deliberately exclude them so that we can deliberately include them and see what their contribution is. And then, of course, every one of us is contributing. If any one of us shows up in a bigger way, we contribute. So even though we're focusing on the animals, I'm so grateful that each one of you is here, because you too contribute so much. All right. Now, this group has been going on for many, many, many years, at least 10 years. So if you're here because you need healing, and this is maybe too technical, just kind of listen. You don't even have to visualize, just your presence is helpful. But for those of us who've been doing this regularly for quite some time, it's enjoyable and interesting if we kind of do a little work, little spiritual work. I'll be doing the healing, so you don't have to worry about if you're doing it right. And those of you who are my steady people, you can contribute how you can contribute. All right, and just your presence is there. All right, so let me see if there's anything else I wanted to say here. Yeah. All right, good. All right, so if you're watching this on YouTube, please know that you're welcome to join us, but you have to join the Spirit Gate Cancer Support Facebook group. Just it's just a more, ever so slightly more private container for the healing. So you have to go through the effort of figuring out how to join a Facebook group. All right, it's free, it's all good, but it's just a container.